Week 5 of the fantasy football season. And here's a few running backs I look to drop this week. The first guy, James Cook of the Buffalo Bills. So James Cook, he just can't get on the field enough here to garner any fantasy value. Right now, he's still owned in 35% of fantasy leagues. But right here in week 4, he didn't do anything. One target, didn't even get a carry in the ball game. And now Singletary and obviously Zach Moss are ahead of him. Even though I don't think those running backs are any good, in my opinion. But Singletary's getting the work. He had another decent fantasy day with over 11 fantasy points in PPR leagues. And now they're going to stick with Singletary. But James Cook, I thought coming into the season, was a guy by week 4, week 5, could take over in the backfield. And I know he's only an injury away of possibly getting a bigger role for this Buffalo Bill team. But right now, if you're a team struggling and you need some bench depth and guys to get on the waiver wire and really don't have anyone to drop, James Cook this week is a drop. The next guy, Michael Carter of the New York Jets. Talk about rookies, Breece Hall. He's starting to take over in the backfield here for this Jet team. And Michael Carter, we only saw him in week 4 get 9 carries, 15 yards with 2 catches for 14 yards, where Hall had 17 touches in the ball game. He found the end zone as well. So week 1 versus Baltimore, big game it was for Carter. 60 rushing yards, 7 catches, 40 yards. Week 2 at Cleveland, only 7 carries, 23 yards, 5 catches, 27 yards. In the last 2 weeks here, his numbers have fell off. Week 3 versus Cincinnati, 11 carries, 39 yards, a catch, 7 yards. And then week 4, Pittsburgh, we barely saw anything from Carter. So week 5 here versus the Miami Dolphins, going to be a tough matchup for this Jet team. And this Dolphin team, they play good defense and they're pretty decent versus the run. So right now, Michael Carter, with Breece Hall taking a lot of the carries and looking like the better running back right now. He's just a guy that's going to be a change of pace or passing downs back for this Jet team. And I don't know if he's going to really carve out any fantasy value in this role. So I would drop him this week with better intriguing options. Like a Mike Boone this week is out there on the wire. You got Rachaad White, who looked good in the passing downs role for the Buck team, even though we know that's not going to happen every week where the Bucks are down 2 or 3 touchdowns. They got to throw a lot. But those guys are guys at this point I probably would want over Michael Carter. Third and final running back I would drop this week, Javonte Williams of the Denver Broncos. So Williams, he was drafted 2nd, 3rd round of most fantasy leagues, but unfortunately he's out for the season with a torn ACL and a torn LCL. And that's a big injury, no doubt about it, and hopefully he comes back next season with a vengeance. So on the season, he finished on the year, Javonte Williams. He had 1 good game and 2 mediocre ball games, 47 carries, 204 rush yards, 16 receptions, 76 receiving yards, and a fumble loss. So right now, they signed Latavius Murray off the New Orleans Saints practice squad. He's going to get an opportunity. And it might be even a 3-headed committee over there in Denver with Mike Boone, Melvin Gordon, and Latavius Murray. So right now, I would go out there on the waiver wire and add Mike Boone and Latavius Murray off the wire, because I think those guys are going to fill in, and they're going to have a role over here with this Denver Bronco running game. So Javonte Williams, he was good last season in his rookie year. And this season, not the greatest of starts, just like this whole Denver Bronco team as a whole on the offensive side of things. But right now, it's a big loss for fantasy owners. Hopefully, he's healed and ready to go in time for 2023. But it's a major injury with the ACL and the LCL. And we see J.K. Dobbins still trying to recover from it and be 100%. So that's a tough blow for fantasy owners. And like I said, there's some decent running back options on the wire this week. If you need any, go check out. But obviously, with Williams out for the season, even Dynasty and Keeper leagues, he's not really a guy I'm going to keep on my roster with this type of injury. So that's a few running backs I look to drop here for week 5 of the fantasy football season.